Hey there, gospel piano player. Jermaine Griggs here, founder of HearAndPlay.com, and man, do I have something special for you. Inside this presentation, I'll debunk the #1 myth that has been plaguing the gospel community for years and give you a proven plan of action. Not only that, but well, I'll save that for a little later. I'll just say this, you're gonna wanna see what we're giving away at the end. Now, as a gospel piano player, what you choose to focus on matters. I'll say it one more time because it's just that important. What you choose to focus on matters. Now, over the years, I've noticed that there's one major thing that gospel musicians wonder about, and that is, what's the one thing they can do as a piano player to guarantee their success? And if you ask me, the answer is simple. Have a crystal clear picture of what you need to focus on. This focus is the #1 skill you need as a musician or anything else, in my opinion, to guarantee success. In fact, I attribute a lot of my success to this as a musician, and I have a few things to share with you today if you plan on becoming a great musician yourself. Now, before we jump into the meat of this presentation, I'd like to take a second and tell you who this presentation is for so that we know that you're in the right place. I mean, the last thing I'd want for you to do is waste your time. This presentation is especially significant if you fall into one or more of the 3 categories. #1, you're frustrated with your progress as a musician. You're disappointed with your playing. #2, and imagine yourself being further along in your progress than you actually are right now. Or you've grown accustomed to your sluggish growth, and the only time you're reminded of how little you've actually grown is when you're around other musicians who perform better than you. Now, if you fall into any one of these categories, then this presentation was designed specifically for you. I promise you're going to love it. So let's jump right in. To start, I'd like to share a short email I received from a Hear and Play student a few days ago. And I want to share this with you because I feel some of you may be able to relate to it. Now I'm going to grab the email over here, and it's from Roderick. And Roderick writes, "Hey Jermaine, I've been a long-time subscriber to your blog, and I'm happy to inform you I finally pulled the trigger and became a member of GMTC. Now, for those of you who don't know, GMTC is the Gospel Music Training Center. I'm writing you today in hopes of receiving a little guidance. Not too long ago, my band leader at church pulled me aside to have a small talk. Now, by the look on his face, I could tell something was wrong right away. I have a gift of recognizing people's body language, and by the way he was fidgeting and avoiding eye contact with me, I could tell he was uncomfortable with the news he had for me. There was no small talk, there's no catch up on family, nothing like that. He just got straight to the point. Now, before I tell you what he said, I must say this. There was a vacant position on the team as house musician, and I've wanted it for quite a while. This was no secret, everyone knew this. So anyways, the band leader says to me bluntly, we will be reaching out outside of the church to fill the position. And then, as if to kill any hope or thought of me thinking I still had a chance, he simply ended the conversation by saying, sorry man, you just don't have what it takes. Now, can you remember a time where you've worked hard to achieve something only to fall flat on your face? This has definitely happened to me. And then on top of all that, have all hope taken away? Now, what did Roderick do wrong? It's obvious he was serious about his craft. He had the work ethic, he had the desire. And in his mind, he thought he was perfect for the position. But nope, according to his band leader, he just didn't have what it takes. And I can imagine the emotions that Roderick must have felt. Maybe anger, frustration, confusion, sadness. Every late night he spent working on his craft must have felt like a waste of time at the moment for him. But he continues in his letter. He says, without saying a word to anyone, I quickly gathered my belongings and left the church. And I'll stop it right there. I think you guys get the point. Now, what was the issue for Roderick? If you said he wasn't focusing on the right things, you are correct. This passionate piano player learned a valuable lesson from that run-in with his band leader at the church. When I first read this email, I felt everything he went through. His story was similar to my story. In fact, it reminded me of a time I was completely embarrassed in front of the entire church. Unlike him though, I didn't have a band leader to pull me to the side and tell me I wasn't ready, even if he was a little harsh about it. But what I did do, I reached out to every seasoned musician that I knew at the time to pick up everything I could on playing gospel music. I mean, I did everything I could to get them to sit down with me to teach me a few chords. If I heard that a few of the older guys would be at the church practicing late night, I was there. I had my grandma drop me off. If I had to go to a friend's church or a house on the opposite side of town, I'd do it. Let me tell you, I was a driven little kid. I'd memorize everything that the seasoned players would share with me. I would practice late nights with the same passion you would see a piranha going on a feeding frenzy. I trusted the process and thought that this was how things had to be done. This was how gospel musicians became great, right? And unless, of course, you were born with the gift. At least this is what all the piano players told me. Jermaine, it takes years of practice. Just keep up, you're doing great. And who was I to disagree? After all, this is how gospel musicians have been practicing for years. School of Hard Knocks. Well, unfortunately, after practicing for what seemed like an eternity, the results I was hoping for never came. I actually experienced very little progress, so I know how it feels. There had to be a better way. And that's when I discovered this. Roderick and anybody else struggling with this issue, if you're watching, listen closely. Because 9 times out of 10, looking over the shoulders of other seasoned musicians is not enough for most musicians. Now, don't get me wrong. There are some musicians who just get it, and they're able to naturally pick up on what they need to learn as they progress. We might call them the naturals, right? However, most musicians do not. For the average piano player, I've learned that it just doesn't come natural, myself included. Now, remember that big myth I told you I'd fill you in on earlier? Well, here it is. Most people believe you need to be a natural to become an all-star musician, but this is absolutely false. Listen closely. You can still reach your full potential if, and this is the important part, if you know exactly what to focus on and have a systematic way of tackling it. So the question is, what do I need to focus on, Jermaine? Well, it may seem like literally hundreds of things you need to master. I mean, let's just name a few, right? You got theory, you got mobility and freedom, style and personalization, chord deployment, improvisation, chordal nuances, diatonic chord usage, non-diatonic chord usage, voicing determination, inversions, primary chords, voicings, borrowed chords, grace notes, chord walks, arpeggios, chord planning, secondary diminish, irregularities, passing chords, extensions, functional progressions, alternative routes, pattern establishments, chord tones, passing chords, and that's just a fraction of the list. These are the little things you as a musician have to master, and just looking at this entire list, I know it can get quite overwhelming. Luckily for you and our friend Roderick here that sent me this email, I took the time to plot them all out and organize them in systematic steps. And it gets even better. Not only did I organize them into systematic steps for you, I made it drop dead easy for you to master because I figured out a way to help you start learning everything you now see on the screen by focusing on only 3 things. Can you imagine that? How much time and energy would that save you? Let alone headache. This was a game changer for me, and I know that it'll be one for you also. After all, I get it. Nobody wakes up in the morning looking forward to learning all their scales and modes and Ionian and Dorian and Phrygian, all their scales so they can be a master. At the end of the day, people just want to be good at playing songs. So you may be wondering, what are the 3 things you need to focus on to start mastering everything you see on the screen? Well, here's the answer. It boils down to this. Number 1, learning songs on your own. Number 2, spicing up those songs to give them your own flavor. And number 3, learning them in all 12 keys. That's all. And after some long nights studying everything you see on that chart, I had a major breakthrough and realized that this is what this entire chart amounts to. Learning songs on your own, spicing those songs up and giving them your own flavor, and learning them in all 12 keys so you can have mobility and freedom. And in a few seconds, I'm gonna share exactly what you need to do in order to master them. Listen, if you haven't mastered everything you see on this page, it's extremely important for you to keep watching this video because what I'm gonna share with you will change your playing forever, guaranteed. Now, you guys probably know my story, but if not, I'm the founder of HearAndPlay.com, one of the largest and best training centers for aspiring musicians in the world. And I've helped well over 200,000 musicians from more than 103 countries master their favorite songs faster and easier than ever before. What you may not know is that I'm the creator of the Gospel Keys 102 DVD program, a course that will show you step-by-step how to launch your playing to the next level using systematic strategies. It literally acts as a bridge to better playing. This course includes some of my most in-depth material on harmonization techniques for hymns and has been tested and proven to work. Here's just a glimpse of what you'll learn in this comprehensive 2-hour video program. Number one, my time-tested 3-step process to playing hymns, congregational, and basic songs on your own. Number two, how harmony and melody work together and why simply knowing this can help you to play 80% of songs out there. Number three, the secret to mastering all 12 keys. Number four, my secret formula to effortless transposition. Number five, 7 key strategies needed to spice up practically any song harmonization. Number 6, over 80 chords across 12 keys that are the foundation of every song you'll ever play. I'm telling you, if you master these chords, you will pretty much be able to master any hymn, any congregational song that you want. And hymns are the foundation of gospel music. Like how to systematically swap out regular major chords and put in 9th chords. This technique alone works pretty much all the time. It hasn't failed me yet. Things like how to strategically employ diminished 7th chords whenever you want to take a congregational song to the next dimension. Or how to enhance your songs by substituting secondary dominant chords for minor triads. This technique alone will revolutionize how you play hymns and traditional songs. You explore minor 6 chords, half diminished 7th chords, and altered chords. This is all under the Spice Things Up section. Like how 11th and 13th chords can be intentionally watered down and easily added to your songs, even if you're a beginner. And how to apply everything you learn to over 9 songs. Songs like Kumbaya, My Lord, Leaning on the Everlasting Arms, Oh Come All Ye Faithful, This Is the Day, What a Friend We Have in Jesus, Jesus Loves Me, Love Lifted Me, Blessed Assurance, and Pass Me Not, O Gentle Savior. I literally walk you through all my strategies and how and where to apply them in each of these songs. Now, of course, the idea is to apply my systematic strategies to all your favorite songs. These are just meant as examples to get you started and crystallizing the concepts. For example, like how to apply substitutions to the 4th degree of the scale. Since music usually spends its time between the 1st, the 4th, and the 5th degrees, knowing how to substitute other things in place of these basic major chords is very, very important. Other things like how to practice using the circle of fifths and how this subconsciously helps you to play in all 12 keys, and so much more. Now, this 2-hour DVD is valued at just $47, but don't worry, you won't be paying that price, not even close to that. In fact, I have a surprise for you in just a few minutes. This is a one-of-a-kind system and can work for you even if you've only used sheet music up to this point and don't have experience playing by ear. You want to play for your church, your choir, or group, but haven't been able to reach the level in your playing that would allow you to do so. You're frustrated with your progress as a musician. You're disappointed and imagine yourself being further along in your progress than you actually are right now. Or maybe you've grown accustomed to your sluggish growth and the only time you're reminded of how little you've actually grown is when you get around other musicians that are better than you. And even if you feel like you've already tried absolutely everything and have failed, don't worry, my friend. Gospel Keys 102 was built for you. Now, I have to mention before we go any further, this is for gospel musicians who are ready to stop looking for a magic button and miracle pills, who are dedicated, though, to seriously building their skills so they can grow and break through their glass ceiling. But if you're looking for the best way to propel your playing to the next level, this is your answer. Now, you may be wondering, Jermaine, how much does this course cost? Well, here's my answer. We're giving away 250 copies absolutely free. That's right, I said it's free. Listen, I feel you deserve to know why I'm giving this course away for free today. I wanted to come up with a unique way to inspire action because I have a dream of seeing every passionate gospel piano player play at their best. And guess what? I'm not going to allow price to get in your way of becoming the best piano player you possibly can be. So what does that mean for you and passionate piano players like Roderick? Well, it means we're going to ship you the Gospel Keys 102 free of charge. All we ask is that you try out the Gospel Music Training Center today. Now, if you haven't heard, the Gospel Music Training Center is the #1 resource on the web for gospel musicians. As a member, you can instantly access over 700 hours of sensational song training spread across weekly piano lessons, archived organ lessons, live trainings, digital courses, basics and fundamentals training, advanced licks and tricks training, and much more. You can attend weekly training sessions where you can chat directly with some of the most professional, top-notch musicians who are not only masters at playing, but masters at teaching gospel piano. Not to mention, we give you plenty of opportunities to practice and retain all that you're learning. With hundreds of questions from our interactive quizzes, you'll make it past each foundational level with a strong understanding of the concepts and the strategies to mastering the piano. In short, the Gospel Music Training Center is without a question the easiest, most comprehensive, and most effective training center there is for serious church musicians. And we'd like for you to test it out for yourself. Test drive the Gospel Music Training Center on us. In fact, taking advantage of our triple guarantee ensures you do not have to make a decision about the training center today. Simply try out the Gospel Music Training Center for 30 whole days, and if you do not immediately start seeing improvement in your ability to play, or if you're not 100% satisfied in every way, you can simply cancel your trial in the Gospel Music Training Center before 30 days are up, and we will unenroll you from the program. No hassles, no worries, and we'll part as friends no matter what. Plus, you'll get to keep the Gospel Keys 102 even if you decide to cancel your trial membership. So again, the Gospel Keys 102 is yours regardless to keep for free either way. Even if you decide to stay a few months, but for any reason don't feel like continuing, canceling your membership is as easy as 1, 2, 3. So claim your copy of the Gospel Keys 102 now, because this one-time only deal worth a combined $77 is designed to ensure you never struggle or ever have to beg another musician again only to hear that they're too busy. The last time we had a massive course giveaway, the batch disappeared in less than 48 hours. And I have a feeling the 250 copies I have reserved for you will run out much sooner this time. And once we run out, you'll miss your chance of securing your free copy of Gospel Keys 102 forever. Don't let this happen to you. Make the only smart move you can make right now and click the button below on this page and claim your set today. I'm Jermaine Griggs, and on behalf of HearAndPlay.com, remember, if you can hear it, you can play it.